I'll destroy you. CM Punk sends dreadful message to Paul Heyman after his world title win. Hold on, did CM Punk just win the World Heavyweight Championship after months of getting brutalized by the Vision, after being betrayed by Logan Paul, after being ambushed in parking lots and left for dead, and his first act as champion is to cut the most vicious, personal, and downright threatening promo directed at Paul Heyman that we've heard in years? This isn't celebration, this is a declaration of war. I'll destroy you isn't hyperbole. It's not a wrestling catchphrase. It's not entertainment. That was CM Punk, the man who suffered more than anyone on Monday Night Raw over the past few months, looking directly into the camera and promising Paul Heyman that his reckoning is coming, and it's going to be brutal. And if you think Punk is playing around, you haven't been paying attention to anything that's happened. I am shook. I am hyped. And I am absolutely terrified of what's about to happen, because when CM Punk makes a promise like that, when he has that fire in his eyes, when he's holding championship gold and has nothing left to lose, people get hurt. Drop in the comments right now, is CM Punk's threat to Paul Heyman justified after everything the Vision put him through, or has Punk crossed a line into something dangerous? Because this feels different. Monday Night Raw just witnessed one of the most cathartic championship victories in recent memory, followed by one of the most intense post-match promos we've seen in the modern era. CM Punk didn't just beat his opponent for the title, he survived a war, overcame impossible odds, and emerged as champion with a vendetta that's going to define Monday Night Raw for months to come. Let me break down everything that happened, because Punk's title win, his message to Heyman, and the implications for everyone involved are massive. Question for the CM Punk historians: where does this championship win rank among all of Punk's title victories in terms of emotional significance? Top 3? Number 1? The main event was CM Punk vs. The Champion, a match that had been building for weeks and represented Punk's chance to finally capture championship gold after enduring the Vision's reign of terror. The story going into this match was perfect: Punk as the battered warrior who refused to stay down versus an established champion who had their own agenda. The match itself was incredible, hard-hitting, dramatic, filled with near falls and callbacks to everything Punk has been through. Every time Punk hit a signature move, the crowd exploded because they needed this win for him. Every time the opponent got a fence, you could feel the collective anxiety in the arena. And the Vision? They were conspicuously absent. No interference, no run-ins, no attempts to cost Punk the match. At first, this seemed suspicious. Why wouldn't Heyman send his soldiers to prevent Punk from winning the title? But the answer became clear later: Heyman wanted Punk to win. He wanted Punk to have something to lose. That's next-level psychological warfare. Give your enemy hope, let them achieve their goal, and then crush them when they have something precious to defend. That's the mind of Paul Heyman at work. When Punk hit the GTS and got the 3 count, the arena erupted. People were on their feet, crying, celebrating like their own family member had won the championship. This wasn't just a title change, this was a moment of triumph after sustained suffering. Punk held the championship above his head with tears in his eyes, not of joy, but of relief mixed with rage. This was a man who'd been through hell to get to this moment, and now that he's here, he's not going to waste a second of it. Question: did you get emotional watching CM Punk finally win the World Heavyweight Championship after everything he's been through? Be honest about that visceral reaction. The celebration lasted maybe 10 seconds before Punk grabbed a microphone. The crowd was still cheering, still chanting his name, but Punk's expression silenced them immediately. This wasn't a man ready to celebrate, this was a man with unfinished business. Punk's promo started calmly, too calmly. That's when you know CM Punk is at his most dangerous. He talked about the journey to this moment, about every beating he took, about every betrayal he suffered, about every time he was left lying broken and bleeding while the Vision stood over him celebrating. He mentioned Logan Paul's betrayal specifically, calling Logan a spineless fraud who plays at being a wrestler when real wrestlers are busy building legacies. Damn, that's a shot that Logan will have to respond to. He acknowledged the locker room's failure to help him during his darkest moments, saying, "I don't forget who was there and who wasn't." That's putting everyone on notice. Punk remembers who stood by him and who left him to die. But then Punk's tone shifted. His voice got quieter, more intense, more menacing. He looked directly into the camera, not at the crowd, at the camera, and said, "Paul Heyman, I know you're watching. I know you're back there with your smug smile thinking you're 3 steps ahead. But let me make something crystal clear." The arena went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone knew something significant was about to be said. This championship? This isn't the end of our story, it's the beginning of your destruction. You sent your dogs after me for months. You manipulated everyone around me. You cost me friendships, you cost me my body, you cost me my peace. And now I have the platform, the power, and the motivation to make you pay for every single second of suffering you caused. Chills. Absolute chills running down my spine. That wasn't a promo, that was a promise. Let me ask, was this the most intense CM Punk promo you've ever heard, or have there been more threatening moments in his career? Give me your top 3 Punk promos. But Punk wasn't finished. He continued, and this is where it got really personal. You think you're a genius, Paul? You think you're the wise man who can manipulate everyone and everything? You're a parasite. You latch onto talent, you drain them, and when they're no longer useful, you discard them. You did it to Brock, you did it to Roman, and you tried to do it to me. But here's the difference: I'm still standing. And this championship means I have the power to destroy everything you've built. The crowd was going insane. CM Punk chants were deafening. But Punk kept talking, kept building, kept adding fuel to the fire. The Vision? Your precious faction? It's crumbling, Paul. Braun Breaker is in open rebellion. Bronson Reed is questioning your leadership. GUSO has one foot out the door. Logan Paul is only loyal to himself. Your empire is falling apart, and I'm going to be the one who delivers the final blow. And then came the line that's going to be replayed forever: I'll destroy you, Paul Heyman. Not metaphorically. Not in some abstract wrestling way. I will systematically dismantle everything you've created until there's nothing left. The vision, your reputation, your legacy, I'll burn it all down. And when I'm done, you'll realize that you picked a fight with the wrong man. The crowd was losing their minds. This wasn't traditional babyface championship celebration, this was a revenge mission statement. This was Punk drawing a line in the sand and declaring total war. Question: is CM Punk's promise to destroy Heyman realistic, or is this ego and emotion talking? Can one man actually dismantle what Heyman has built? The camera cut backstage to Paul Heyman watching on a monitor, and his expression was fascinating. He wasn't scared, he was smiling. That calculating, predatory smile that says, good, this is exactly what I wanted. Heyman loves when people make emotional decisions based on revenge because emotion makes you predictable. The Vision members were also shown watching, each with different reactions. Braun Breaker looked annoyed, like, why is Punk getting all the attention when I'm the one who started the rebellion? Bronson Reed looked concerned, recognizing that Punk as champion with a vendetta is dangerous for everyone. JEYUSO looked conflicted, like he's seeing his own path to redemption in Punk's triumph. Logan Paul looked dismissive, like he thinks Punk is all talk and no action, which is going to be his downfall. Each of these reactions sets up future confrontations and storylines that could carry Raw for months. The wrestling world exploded on social media. I'll destroy you was trending worldwide. People were making videos of Punk's promo, dissecting every word, every inflection, every bit of body language. This is the kind of moment that defines eras. Critics who said Punk was too old or past his prime were silenced. This wasn't just about in-ring ability, this was about promo skills, storytelling, and the ability to make millions of people believe in what you're saying. That's what separates stars from wrestlers. Question: at this stage of his career, is CM Punk better as an in-ring performer or as a promo talent? Which is his greater strength now? Let's analyze what Punk's threat means for everyone involved. For Paul Heyman, this is the ultimate challenge to his manipulation mastery. Can he outthink someone who's onto his tactics? Can he maintain control of the Vision while dealing with a champion who wants his head? Or is this finally the nemesis who exposes Heyman's weaknesses? For the Vision, they now have to deal with a champion who's specifically targeting their leader. Do they protect Heyman? Do they use this as an opportunity to break free? Do different members make different choices? For the Raw roster, Punk holding the championship changes everything. Does he become the leader that rallies everyone against the Vision? Or does his revenge quest make him just as dangerous as the faction he's fighting? For WWE Creative, they have a goldmine of storytelling potential. Punk defending the title against Vision members one by one. Punk trying to turn Vision members against Heyman. The eventual Punk versus Heyman confrontation. This could be year-long storytelling. Rank these four perspectives by who has the most to lose from Punk's championship reign and revenge mission. Give me your 1 to 4 ranking in the comments. Punk's specific mention of destroying rather than beating or defeating Heyman is significant. Destruction is permanent. It's not about winning one match or one feud, it's about erasing someone's legacy and impact. That's personal on a level we rarely see in wrestling. The comparison to Punk's famous pipe bomb promo is inevitable, but this is different. The pipe bomb was about exposing corporate hypocrisy and fighting the machine. This is about personal vendetta and revenge. It's more focused, more violent in its intent, more dangerous. Both promos showcase Punk's ability to blur reality and fiction, to make you question what's character work and what's genuine emotion. That's his superpower as a performer. Punk holding the championship while pursuing this vendetta creates fascinating dynamics. Usually, the champion is the target, the person being chased. But Punk is positioned as both champion and hunter. He's defending the title while simultaneously going on the offensive against Heyman. That's unique storytelling that we haven't seen much of in modern WWE. The champion as the aggressor rather than the defender. It flips the traditional dynamic and creates unpredictable storytelling. Should a world champion be pursuing personal vendettas, or should they be a fighting champion defending against all comers? What's the right balance? The path forward for Punk's championship reign is loaded with potential matches: Punk vs. Braun Breaker, the Rebel vs. the Champion; Punk vs. Bronson Reed, the Monster vs. the Technique Master; Punk vs. Logan Paul, settling the betrayal; Punk versus whoever Heyman designates as champion challenger. Each match tells a different story, serves a different purpose in Punk's revenge mission, and builds toward the ultimate Punk versus Heyman confrontation. But here's the brilliant part of Heyman's potential strategy: what if Heyman never physically confronts Punk? What if he just keeps sending soldiers, keeps manipulating from behind the scenes, keeps making Punk chase him without ever getting the satisfaction of direct conflict? That would be maddening for Punk and create a storyline where the physical championship victories aren't enough. Punk needs to force Heyman into direct confrontation, but Heyman is too smart to give him that satisfaction. Which ending would be more satisfying, Punk getting to physically confront Heyman, or Punk systematically destroying the Vision but never getting personal revenge? Both are compelling. The crowd's reaction to Punk's promo was telling. They were behind him completely. No mixed reactions, no but maybe Punk is going too far hesitation. The audience wants blood. They want revenge. They want Heyman to pay. That unified fan support gives Punk carte blanche to be as aggressive, as violent, as vindictive as he wants. The audience will justify it because of everything he's been through. That's powerful positioning. Punk's mention of Heyman's history with Brock and Roman was strategic. He's reminding everyone that Heyman's pattern is established: use people and discard them. That makes Vision members question their own futures with Heyman. Could Punk actually turn Vision members by exposing Heyman's manipulation? Could he create allies from his enemies? That would be poetic justice, using Heyman's own soldiers against him. Question: which Vision member is most likely to turn on Heyman because of Punk's words? Braun, Reed, G, or Logan? Who's most vulnerable to Punk's message? The championship belt itself becomes a weapon in Punk's war. It gives him main event positioning, it gives him decision-making power, it gives him the platform to challenge anyone. That's why Heyman potentially let him win, to make the eventual fall more devastating. But what if Punk is aware of that strategy and plans for it? What if Punk knows Heyman wants him to have something to lose, and he's prepared to defend it at all costs? That chess match of strategy is fascinating. Punk's physical condition after months of beatings should be a factor. How long can he maintain championship-level performance while carrying injuries? Does his body betray his revenge mission? That adds realism and stakes. The potential for Punk to become obsessed with revenge to the point where it costs him the championship is compelling storytelling. The tragedy of achieving your goal but losing it because you couldn't let go of vendetta. That's Shakespeare. Would you rather see Punk successfully destroy Heyman while keeping the title, or see him lose the title because his revenge obsession made him vulnerable? Which is better story? Paul Heyman's response to Punk's threat will be crucial. Does he dismiss it? Does he take it seriously? Does he go into full manipulation mode? The next chapter depends entirely on how Heyman reacts. My prediction? Heyman acts unconcerned publicly while privately scrambling to shore up the Vision's loyalty and prepare for Punk's assault. That duality creates tension and unpredictability. The other champions on Raw and SmackDown should be watching this situation carefully. Punk as champion with a singular focus on revenge means he's not traditionally defending against contenders. That creates opportunities for others. Final questions before we wrap. 1. Is Punk's threat to destroy Heyman justified or going too far? 2. Can Punk actually dismantle the Vision while defending the championship? 3. Which Vision member will Punk target first in his revenge mission? 4. Will Heyman's manipulation overcome Punk's determination? 5. Does this feud end with Punk victorious, or does obsession cost him everything? Give me answers to all 5 questions. Here's my ultimate take: CM Punk's championship win and subsequent threat to Paul Heyman is top-tier storytelling that combines championship glory with personal vendetta. Punk's "I'll destroy you" promise isn't empty words, it's a mission statement that will define Monday Night Raw moving forward. This is everything wrestling should be: personal stakes, emotional investment, clear motivations, and unpredictable outcomes. Whether you think Punk can actually destroy Heyman or if you think he's walking into another trap, you care about the outcome. That's what matters. WWE has a goldmine of storytelling here if they commit to it fully. Punk's reign should be defined by this vendetta. Every defense should connect to the Vision. Every promo should build toward the ultimate confrontation. This could be historic. Let me know everything in the comments. Do you believe Punk can destroy Heyman? Is the threat justified? What should happen first? And if you made it this far, drop "destroy Heyman" if you're Team Punk, or "Heyman wins" if you think he'll outmaneuver Punk again. Subscribe for championship-level wrestling analysis. Like if CM Punk's promo gave you chills. And share because everyone needs to witness this declaration of war. Until next time, never forget who wronged you, always collect your debts, and I'll see you in the next one.